I probably look like a dork, but that's okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Red Nose Day.
We're fighting childhood. What is it? Childhood hunger?
I
I
think
can't even talk
that's
with
what
this
it
thing on.
is. Feels like your nose is blocked.
I turned it around so it's not squeezing my nose.
Well, that's good. You got to breathe.
I can't smoke with it on either. It's really hard to smoke with it on. Maybe I should wear it all the time, then I won't smoke.
Oh, gosh.
I don't know which is worse, a cigarette hanging on my mouth or a red nose.
Oh, my gosh. Well, I hope everybody's having a good day. It is Thursday, right?
Yep, auction day today.
May 25th. It's on my calendar. It says Ascension Day.
Huh.
So, morning, Margot. Yeah, so Sally's doing a yard sale today, so she said she might be a little bit late. She just got off work like 6:30, so she's trying to get her yard sale up and going and running. So I'm sure her husband Brandon's out there. Naked Man is out there helping her. I'm sure he's got clothes on though. I hope. But yeah, he's probably out there helping her. And, she's got to sleep during the day, so because she's got to work tonight. But so he'll probably man it after she goes to sleep. So, but we'll hold the fort down while she's gone. Let's see what else is going on today. Kind of too early to tell, but today is supposed to be 80 degrees. So, the last probably 4 or 5 days, it's been in the 60s, which to me is cold. It's cool, it's a little too chilly for me. And it's been raining and all of that, and so I couldn't get my yard mowed and weed eated and everything because of the rain. So I'm going to probably do that. My goal is to do my 20 and then get out there and work on the yard, get the yard mowed and weed eated and all that good stuff, which I don't mind because I love the sun rays. And I'll put my what is it, dry tanning oil, I'll spray that on and get me a little tan while I'm at it too. So that's what I got going on today. Yesterday on the show I was talking to Eric, and I was trying to figure out what I was going to do about my lighting system. And so I moved everything from this room as far as picture taking. I moved that all to the photo studio. So now I have a photo studio. That's a fancy word for saying I've got umbrellas and I take pictures in there. So anyway, but it actually worked out pretty good, and took some pictures last night. Was pretty happy with it. The little setup. It's a little tight as far as everything is in there. I've got my wash machine, my dryer in there, and it's not a very big spot, but somehow I fit 3 umbrellas and my mannequin, my backdrop, and a table. I've fit it all in there, so we'll see how that goes. But for right now, it's doing pretty good.
Yeah, looks like a good setup.
I was pretty, it's an unfinished. I think it's a build on, and they put a little bit of drywall up and but it's definitely not completely finished. Um, but we just make do with what we got. So you know, so that's and I was pretty impressed with the pictures that I took last night. They were so much brighter, of course, because of the light, but just a lot more clear. The clarity of it was a lot better, and so I was really happy with that. I think it's going to make a big difference in the way people see my items and everything. So I'm hopeful. Whatever helps, whatever works. Good morning, Miss Jean. Good morning, Frankie's Finds. Hope everybody's having a good morning. The good thing is we're above ground. That's what a lot of people that's what I say. At least you're above ground and you're breathing, so you must be doing something right. But so yesterday was kind of a busy day. I've been working on that, trying to get that all situated. I only got 5 listings in last night. I kind of just waited until the last minute and then kind of kicked out 5 listings, and then I was pretty much done for the day. But hopefully today will be a little more. I'll get a little more done. That's what I'm hoping. Yeah,
Yeah, but you worked on something for your business, so that was
true,
good.
true. And just you can't be listing the whole time. You have to, there's going to be times where you're going to have to, use your time to, whether it's putting away inventory, which is another thing that I need to do, and trying to organize that. But there's always other things that you're going to do with your business, but it's not going to necessarily be listing all the time. So that's true. Tiffany loves your nose. Good morning, Tiffany and Mary O. Hope everybody's having a great day. I seen that on, I think it was Facebook, and it said tomorrow is Red Nose Day, and I was like, dang it, man! I wish I would have one of those because that would be awesome. That would have been great. But by the way, I love that movie. Was it Patch Adams? I love that movie. Pretty cool. And sometimes I do put that in my listing for like scrubs or ties. I'll put patch in there. I don't know if that's keyword spamming or whatever, but hey, that's what I do. Let's see.
You put Patch Adams in your listings, you said?
And yeah, and some of my listings, like for a lot of my ties, like if it's a funny tie, if it's got a good content, I'll put Patch Adams in there. Yeah, or like a scrub top that has like cartoons or that is just basically funny. I'll put that in there. So something different. Morning, Tim. Glad you could join us. Miss Gigi, glad to see you here. Let's see.
Is my sound okay?
Yeah, it sounds pretty good. It's a little bit scratchy, but it's fine. Good morning, Blackberry Thistle Tea. Tim says, I just want to say honk honk now. Laugh out loud. Honk honk. Oh. Yeah, yeah, like I said, Sally's in at her yard sale, so she's gonna be a little bit late. We got Nikki here. I put a few extra invites out there. Um, but right now it's just me and Nikki. Yeah, so I did a little bit of, I didn't change the room too much. I just kind of reorganized it a little bit. Just kind of shift stuff from one place to another, basically. Um, that's pretty much all I did. Um, it was good. It was a good productive day. Um, I think I finally went to bed about midnight and then woke up at 4. Me and my crazy schedule. I don't know. Actually, I went to bed at midnight, woke up at 4, went into the living room, sat in my recliner, and fell asleep until 7. So I can't say that I only got 4 hours of sleep. But
I
I'm
got
just
some
glad.
little sunglasses yesterday.
What?
Sorry.
Oh, those are cute. I love
I love them.
those.
I can't wait for 4th of July to wear them.
Those are so cute. Gotta love it. So how's everybody doing on their listing challenge?
I got in yesterday. I think I got like 5 items done yesterday. But I was doing a lot of funeral stuff too yesterday, so
Right, right. I figure as long as you know, yeah, I mean, you want to put your goal as, the least amount should be, 5, I would say. But I
yeah.
mean, you do whatever you can do. Um, but
Yeah.
do something. Um, Silverhair Stacker said he sucks at the listing challenge. He got 7 yesterday. You got more than I did. That's for sure. So
Mm.
don't get too down on yourself. Uh, and that's, I think it was Tracy that was saying that she always, her goal every day um, is to do 20 listings. That's the goal. And sometimes, life happens and, it's not possible, but I figure, I'm home pretty much all day long. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
other things that have to be done, but you can do 5 listings here, 5 listings, and before you know it, you'll have your 20. And you
Yeah.
should have. I mean, within the time that I'm awake, which would be usually around, I usually wake up at 5, and I will go to bed at midnight. So that's a lot of time to be able to get 20 listings in. So it really shouldn't be that difficult. Um, but like I said, life gets in the way, things happen, and that kind of goes on the back burner when there's other things that are going on. So Tim says he has an addiction. I can't stop buying. Have to hit the thrift or Goodwill or yard sale at least once a day. You know what? That's okay though. As the key is you can pick up stuff all you want. You can go to the store every day and pick up stuff, but you have to be listing too. Otherwise, that's called a hoarder. Yeah. That's the way I think of it. As long as I'm selling stuff, I'm not a hoarder. But, when I stop selling, when I stop listing, then yeah, then there's a problem. Um, Silver Stacker says, I think my biggest problem is stuff that he buys that takes time to prepare. Exactly.
Yeah.
Shoes, clean shoes, wash snack back hats, put batteries in watches, test electronics. I know. I know. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I like clothes is, there's really not a lot of prep to it. I mean, yeah, I steam my clothes, but that's just goes in my process. And it's not a big deal. Um, they're easy to me, and that's why I enjoy them. Good morning, Megan. Hope you're having a great morning.
For not being a clothing seller, I actually process clothes pretty fast. Once I get in the groove, it's pretty
Yeah,
easy throwing them on the mannequin or throwing them
yeah,
on the whiteboard or something.
exactly.
And the measurements and everything, it just, once you get in a groove, it seems pretty easy.
Yeah, yeah, and usually I don't do. Sometimes I will do this sell similar on clothing, but I don't. I, I don't know. I'm kind of weird about that. I want to have my own clean listing rather than work off somebody else's that I might make a mistake on. You know,
Yeah.
because you go through that, and if you do sell similar, there's going to be measurements that come out. What if you miss a measurement that you have to change? Then that's going to screw up your listing. And that's a possible um, not as described. So there's no reason. I usually just like to do it clean. Um, Tim said he did a video. Was at Goodwill yesterday, $2.99 for a bag pegged toys with marbles. Got home and opened up and 10 hand blown glass pendants, high quality. We put on $15 to $30. That's cool. That's
Isn't he
awesome.
the one that lives across the street from the thrift store?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That would be bad for me.
That would be yeah, that would be really bad.
I can't
Um,
drink with the stupid shoes on.
it's okay, Nikki. Yeah, I mean that's a great find. That's an awesome find. And that's kind of the way I always think. Well, if you're not out there and you're not looking, you're not going to find stuff. But
Mhm.
you've got to even it out a little bit. Um, Tim says it's bad they know me by name, and that's not a bad thing. I mean, that's a good thing. People know you. They know what you do. You know, it's not a bad thing. Um, and that's one of the things that I did when I was when I worked full time. I would go to the thrift store because I was in a larger town and I had access to some bigger thrift stores and stuff. And there was probably um, three thrift stores in town. So on my lunch hour, I'd go in and I would power shop
Mhm.
and I'd just grab as much as I could, and then I would have that. But the thing was I had so much stuff, but I didn't have any time to list, and
Yeah.
so basically that stuff accumulated and accumulated, and I had a lot of stuff. Um, but I'm thankful for that because during the winter months and during the time that I didn't have a car, that that's what got me going or kept me going.
Mhm.
And I just had to work off of that. So that was, I didn't realize it then, but there was a reason why that happened. So, but and those things are gradually dwindling down, so that's a good thing. Um, just trying to work on that and before I have to move and everything, because once that time comes, Everything's going to it's either going to go to uh, a garage sale and try and sell off as much as I can, or I may just decide to start fresh and donate it all. So, and I hate to do that because there's money in those items, but if I can't get to them, then I'm not going to let it hold me back from moving or anything like that. So
Yeah.
that's kind of the way I think of it.
I'm going to be bringing some stuff to the auction, get rid of it.
That'll be good.
Yeah, I decided not to do a yard sale this year because, well, it's just so much work. I
Right.
think if I just get my nephew out here and we just load up one of the big car trailers with a bunch of shit, it'll just be a lot easier. Which I
Right.
do that periodically, just bring stuff to the auction just to get rid of it, I mean, you have to purge every once in a while, especially when you do like I do with auctions and I buy a lot of box lots. You just have to purge a lot because you have to take the bad with the good, and sometimes you get overwhelmed with stuff.
Yeah.
So, but that's usually when I do a couple yard sales a year, and I make good money at them. It's nothing to make a $1,500 weekend,
Right. That's good.
which is well worth the work. But at the end of the day, it's like, oh my God, I'm so sore. And it wouldn't be so bad if you're going to sell everything,
Right. Right.
But then all of a sudden you got to pack everything up and then I usually just run it to Goodwill on my way home. And it's not, it'll be different if I lived in town and I could just take it out and put it in my yard. Then it wouldn't be so hard.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the reasons why I got the storage shed, was I was hoping that I could just have garage sales at my storage shed. But this storage shed company says, no, you can't because the insurance doesn't allow it.
Oh.
So I was like, crap. So I got this damn storage shed that I can't sell nothing out of.
Right. Right.
Because I thought I would take, every time I went to the auction, I would go from the auction to the storage shed, separate everything, yard sale, eBay stuff, and just run my yards. Every time I'm in town, just open up the doors and have a yard sale, garage sale,
Right. But it didn't work out that way.
Didn't work out that way, no.
Yeah.
So once I get my building after we come back from Pennsylvania, it'll be a lot better. I can organize everything, start out right.
Yeah. So do you have more listings up now on your?
Yeah, I think I'm up to 32 listings now.
That's good. So you're not going crazy.
Yeah.
You're just
No.
slow and steady type of thing.
Yeah.
That's good though. I mean, you've already proved that you can have a few listings on there and still make sales. So you've already proved that. So good deal. Tiffany said,
I ain't making much, but
hey, at least you're getting sales.
Yeah.
Tiffany said, I had my best sale last night. I had listed 3 Misfits shines. Not even 2 hours later, the same buyer bought all 3. I'm not sure what that is. Misfits shiners. Yeah. Tell us what that is, Tiffany, so we can keep our eyes open for them. Gigi says your own building will be awesome. I know.
So awesome.
I know that that's something that you've been, waiting a long time for. So.
Yeah. It's been like 2 or 3 years coming.
Yeah.
And it keeps getting put off. Well, now we put it off till the Pennsylvania trip. and as soon as we get back from Pennsylvania, that building is going up. And if I decide to do the VersaTube building, I'm going to order it before I go to Pennsylvania. So it's here when we get back from Pennsylvania.
There you go. There you go. So what exactly, what is it called?
It's a VersaTube building.
Uh-huh.
They're VersaTube buildings, and I guess they're really easy to put together. They're like, I don't know what they are. You have to look them up. But
Okay.
my husband was talking about it, and he's like, because I've collected free materials, or almost free materials, for the last few years for my building. And I've actually got a truckload of trusses coming soon.
Wow.
Too, for free. But we may just, because my husband's got walls for a pole building that he got for free.
Mm-hmm.
So we may just use those for the pole building.
Right.
And then I'll just have my VersaTube, make my VersaTube building. But because we don't want to waste those nice insulated pole building panels either.
Right, right.
So
those two buildings are nice. I think it's like a kit, like it's a channel, so you don't have wood trusses and stuff. You know, you put it together and then you put your sheet metal on the outside.
the VersaTube, yeah.
Yeah, they make horse barns too. I mean, they look pretty nice actually.
Yeah. Yeah. So I can't wait. I'm so excited. I can't wait to be able to make the video of my tour of my new building.
Yeah.
So excited.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. And I've told my dad that he can't have any projects for my husband until my building goes up either. So so my dad's on the job. He's got to make sure that building gets up. Every time my husband is like, oh, well, we can do this, this, and this in June, you know, and my dad goes, after the building's put up.
So he knows too.
Yeah. I told him nothing's getting done with the steam show. Nothing's getting done for dad. Nothing's getting done with the steam engine. Nothing is getting done until my building is up.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So, you know, at least you know this year it's going to get up.
It's going up.
Yeah.
This summer. Yes.
Yep.
And right now it's so rainy and crappy out. You know, I wouldn't want to put it up right now because then you end up with, you got to get everything dry and you can end up with dampness. And
Sure.
so that's why I want to wait till after we come back from Pennsylvania, you know?
Yeah.
Then I know one weekend I can get my nephews out here. My husband and my nephews can get my building put up and it'll be done.
It'll be that quick?
Oh, I don't think it'll be very long. If I get my nephews out here, it won't take long at all.
No, they go together fast.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you got enough help, they go together really fast. I built them on my barn, which it was 30 foot wide by 125 feet long, and it was done in 7 days. It was done in a not the inside work, but the outside work and stuff, you know, framing it in and getting
Right.
it goes really fast.
Wow. Huh.
And I'm not going to do too much inside work. It's just going to be like a garage, you know. I'm not going to do too much inside work as far as that goes, I don't think. My husband's going to build me some wood shelves, which he's already got a couple built already. So he'll build me some nice shelving for it. So that's pretty much it. But otherwise, yeah, I'm just going to bring in my table. I've got big tables and stuff, and I'll just bring that stuff in for, you know, working on and stuff. But
So as far as like electricity and plumbing and all that, are you going to have that in there?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's good.
I'm not going to have plumbing, but I'll have electricity, and he's going to run the line from the outside wood boiler.
Uh-huh.
He's going to run the line through my building so that I'll have heat in the winter. It won't be
Good job.
80 degrees in there, but it'll be comfortable to work in anyways.
Right.
And if
It
not,
won't be like your storage unit.
no, if nothing, it'll keep it above freezing anyways.
Right.
Which if I can keep it above 50 degrees in there, I'll be happy. Even 45, you know, I'll be fine with that. You know, put a hoodie on and work out there. That'll be fine with me.
Right.
so I'm not freezing. I mean, like this last winter, I went and I had to get like 2 glass light fixtures, globes, shades or whatever they're called. I had to get a couple metal things out of the garage. Anyways, I was grabbing all this up and it was so cold out, it like burnt my fingers.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, and my fingers hurt like almost half the day. It was just like somebody put a match on them.
Yeah.
That's how badly it hurt, holding this stuff until I got to the car. And then my husband took it out of my hands because my hands, I could hardly move them. They were so cold. And yeah, and they were burning so bad. Yeah, it was terrible. So I was like, no, this is not going to be happening anymore.
Yeah.
I need to have a warm place to work.
Yeah.
And then with the building also, I won't be bringing so much crap into my house. I'll be able to separate my house and my business, and it won't be like going to work. I mean, I'm just going to go outside to my building, so it won't be as bad as like if I had like a warehouse or something. And then you feel like you're going to a job,
Right.
Which in the summertime, like I don't mind working out in my garage and stuff. And sometimes in the summertime when it's nice out, I'll just bring a table out into the yard and work, I enjoy that. So yeah, it'll be nice. And then once my building is up and we get all the crap, the remodeling of my house will go faster too, probably.
Yeah.
Because we don't have a bunch of crap to work around.
Well, you're kind of at a standstill right now. You got a little bit of a wall. So once that, things start happening, then it'll just all flow.
It will.
So
I am anxious to start making good money again. I mean, the last couple of months I've made squats, not much,
Right.
And it's
definitely
frustrating because I know how much money I make and how much I can make. And yeah, so it's been kind of frustrating.
Right.
And I come on here every day and say, oh yeah, this is how you make money on eBay. And I ain't making shit.
Don't feel bad, Nikki. I haven't really listed for the last 8 days or whatever it was. So
yeah. You've been really busy. What was it with the other property or something?
Oh, well, we have like this remains of regular work that we still haven't gave up. We when Jim was a property manager, he has this
that's right.
we've been doing for forever. So they come up for the holiday weekend. They're wealthy people and they come up for the holiday weekend, but we have to make sure like Jim, turns the water back on, gets the boats in the water, all that kind of stuff for him. So, we haven't had the heart to quit, but we keep talking that we have to give them the talk to replace us. And haven't gotten it done yet. Yeah. And then I sold 6.5 acres of vacant land that's supposed to close on the 1st of June, but I have to move a fence line. So I'm going to probably do that this weekend because it's part of my pasture goes onto this land I'm selling. So I got to move the fence line up. And so, yeah, it's like, this is my hell week, I call it, because I have that other gig with getting that house ready, and I don't have to clean the house, but I hire a house cleaner, but it's still a lot of stuff you got to do anyway.
Yeah.
So it's my hell week.
Just a lot of things going on, it sounds like.
Yeah.
And that a lot of that happens, when the weather starts getting nicer and a little bit warmer, things start happening and we get busy.
Well, when you live up in northern Wisconsin, when summer comes, you're going to hit it hard because it ain't going to last real long. And before you know it, it's going to be October and the winter winds are going to be blowing up your butt. So
Right.
That's the bad thing about the north.
Yeah. Well, that's like, if you ever watch that show, the Alaskan Last Frontier or whatever with the Kilchers or whatever they're called. Kilchers. What a lot of what they say as far as, we got to hurry up and get things done, because you only got a few months of summer. And that's true. you know. I mean, yeah, we're not in Alaska and we probably don't have as extreme as Alaska, but yeah, we do.
Yeah, we're comparable. Well, because
Yeah.
there's southern Alaska, so they're a little bit more, like how it's kind of like in Washington and stuff, where they get a lot of rain and stuff. But actually, we're in a very cold area of the United States. Our area is colder than parts of South Alaska, so
Yeah.
like you really have to hit it hard to get stuff done, and then you hunker down for the long winter,
Yeah. And my building, when he puts my building up, it's gonna have a floor and everything, but it's we're gonna put it on skids so that we can move it if we want to, because then you don't need a permit to build it. It's not a, anyways.
Building, yeah.
Well, that's smart.
And well, then they can't. It's a movable thing, so they can't say anything.
Right.
And I don't think you get taxed on it for improvement, will you? Because it's portable.
No. So that's why we're gonna put skids on it. Then I can move it around if I want to too. So
there you go.
Yeah.
That makes.
But I have a feeling, like I told my husband, I said maybe, well, with the lines going through it for the heat, though, I don't know how much I'll be able to move it around. But I told him, I said in the winter months, it'd be nice if it was like near the house, so that I just have to walk out the house and into my building.
Yeah.
But we'll see how it works out. I don't know. That's one of the reasons why I got rid of animals, is because it's so horrible to take care of them stupid animals in the winter time. Yeah. I mean, one day I go down there and my ducks are frozen to their water,
Yeah.
It's like they're standing in their water and their feet are frozen.
I had that happen to a goose. I forgot my water tank was filling up, so they went over there to play in the water, and I'm talking on the phone, and I'm looking out the back window, and I'm like, God, that goose ain't moving. That's weird. Well, she had froze down in the water puddle.
Oh my gosh.
And they were okay. It didn't hurt them at all, but they were fine. But yeah, because in the wintertime I took away their little pool because of the cold. But then
because you're a duck abuser.
I am a duck abuser. But so I put a smaller water in there for them, and then they were standing in it, and they ended up getting frozen in it. So
yeah.
Did you so you took care of the ducks? That makes you the mother ducker.
I am the mother ducker. I used to be a mother trucker too.
Oh my goodness.
I used to have a t-shirt that said that, mother trucker.
Does she have a red nose on?
Yes,
I do.
she
It's
does.
Red Nose Day.
Oh, isn't that a Walgreens thing or something?
Yeah. They give money to childhood hunger.
No, that's Creepy Clown Day.
I can't. Have you guys seen that preview to that new clown movie that's going to be on Netflix? It looks really creepy. Anyway, so he puts the clown makeup on and the red nose, but now it's become attached to him. So his wife has this pair of pliers to try to pull the red nose off, and it's like his nose is bleeding and stuff. And now that red nose thing creeps me out too much.
I could see how that would do that. Yeah. Let's see.
Tiffany C., you don't have auctions there?
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. People come to the auction all the time and they're like, oh, this is my first auction. I'm like, where are you from? What rock did you come out of? Who has never been to an auction? I just can't fathom that, because I've just always done it my whole life. I remember when I was a little kid going to the auction with my dad, and the smoke haze going through the auction. You couldn't see the damn auctioneer because there was such a thick smoke haze.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. Oh man, oh man, oh man.
How you doing today, Dusty?
I just woke up. I was trying to do a little better. I'm up a little earlier. I've been up about 15 minutes, so slowly moving it back.
That's good.
I needed to sleep a little better last night, so that probably help me get a good night's sleep.
Yeah. Well, maybe it'll help your day too.
Earlier, Tim said something about, I think it was Tim, said something about when you have yard sales, do you look for, when you do yard sales, do you ever check your money for star notes or error coins? No, I don't have time for that. I just
No.
deposit it into the bank.
Now there's people out there though that go to the bank and get like whole rolls of different coins and stuff, and they'll sift through them, looking for silver and stuff, and then re-roll them and send them back. I'm like,
I don't have patience for that.
I guess if you were, have the extra time or whatever, but I still think it'd be probably a pig in the poke. Most counting machines nowadays probably are, I don't know, they're probably going to weed out that kind of stuff based on weight anyhow.
Yeah.
God. That sucks.
Oh, by the way, speaking of movies and TV shows earlier, Valerie, thanks a lot for getting me hooked on that Handmaid's Tale. Now I gotta wait till the 31st to see the next episode. Thanks.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do. On Hulu?
Oh yeah. But yeah. You watched yesterday's episode.
Yes. I'm on the 7th episode. Next is the 8th episode. Right. Yes. That's the 31st.
Isn't it awesome now?
It is. It's good.
I think it's a really good show.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it's got a good storyline to it.
But I really don't need to be addicted to a show.
Well, I hear you.
The Walking Dead is supposed to be the only one I'm addicted to.
I know. I'm really enjoying those the Hulu original type shows. They seem to do really, really well.
Yeah.
Which ones?
Well, there's that one I think that you put me on. It's that 11/2/63 or something like that.
Good.
That one was good, and then The Handmaid's Tales. That one is really good.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tristan might have watched that one.
And I don't know. I just like them.
I'm still working on.
I'm actually.
Sorry.
I'm actually considering taking down or discontinuing Netflix, just because I don't really watch it anymore. But I don't know. I'm
still working on my 18 seasons of SVU. Also, I'm in season 6.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh! I was watching. I'm going backwards though, so it's like trying to keep up with a timeline. About stuff before it happens. So I'm on season 15. Season 15, episode 6, I think it is. I just watched the one where the oh crap, what was it? It was the one where the guy. Oh, I don't know. Anyhow, so yeah, that's where I'm at. I was gonna say it's about a guy molesting kids. I'm like, bro, that's like.
Duh.
Okay.
But now by season 6, fluids has become a nasty word too. Yes, there was fluids. Every time I hear fluids, I'm like, oh.
See, Tristan always liked, who are the 2 characters that they got rid of by episode? Munch, and who is the other one? I didn't like him.
I liked Elliot.
Was he the bald dude?
Yeah. Oh my God, he got a body that just don't quit. I wish they would have had him have his shirt off more often.
Wait, is he the old bald dude?
Yeah, but God, he's so hot. His body is just hot. Oh my God, he is just ripped. I like Nicolas Cage too. He's got a receding hairline.
No, wait. I'm thinking of.
Maybe we're thinking of a different guy.
Oh, no.
Olivia's Mariska Hargitay's partner, Patana.
The old bald dude that's like the sergeant?
Oh, no, not him.
I asked you the old bald dude and said yes.
Well, he's a bald dude.
Hold on.
Or baldine.
I'm looking at the picture.
These are funny.
Yeah, I don't know who you're talking about.
I got my
See, I don't
fidget
remember all that,
spinner
mate.
yesterday.
I'm going
too.
backwards.
Yeah, why are you going backwards?
I don't know, because I started watching season like 17 on Hulu, and then I go, wow, I forgot how much I liked this show, so I had to go backwards. I like it now, though, because I like the cast they have now. It's just very, I don't know, it's a lot more simple. The characters are a little more complex, I think. Even going backwards when I watched those earlier ones, and I'm sorry, Tristan likes Monk and all them, I just never thought that they were very deep characters, though.
Mm-hmm.
Even watching, what's the assistant district attorney's name? Barbara. Watching his character evolve, he's gotten to where he's kind of like funny and has a better personality and stuff. I don't know, Nikki, we're boring everybody to death now.
I remember I used to watch, and my mother-in-law told me that I was nasty because I enjoyed watching about child rapists. She said, what kind of sicko are you? You watch that show every week. And I was like, so I ended up quitting watching it because I didn't want to listen to her. Because if she found out I was watching SVU, she'd be like bitching. And, you know, my mother-in-law was kind of that way, weird. And then all of a sudden I did think of that. It's like, well, what kind of person am I when I enjoy a show about child rapists? You know? But
yeah, but it's not a graphic show, though, really.
No. And it's not like you're seeing it in action. It's
mostly about the catching of the guy, isn't it? My mom used to like those kind of shows too.
Yeah. It's the forensics and the police work.
Well, and in reality, I mean, it almost kind of helps you with like your critical thinking, and you know, because you're thinking at the same time while the show's going, you're trying to, you know, somewhat crack the case too. So,
oh wow.
The last episode I've watched is with Martin Short, though. Come on. You're going to make Martin Short a rapist? Come on. That was bad casting. How do you hate Martin Short? How can you hate him? You know? Oh, it's okay, Martin Short. You totally raped and killed that chick, but that's totally fine because you're Martin Short and I love you. I love Martin Short. It's so hard to be mad at him. How do you hate Martin Short? You know, he's so cute and kid-like. You know, be like having my 6-year-old nephew going and being a rapist and murderer. You know. Yeah.
Oh, that was the one I watched last night. It was about a bunch of 4-year-olds at a preschool that lied about their music teacher touching them with a special percussion instrument or something, and it was, I don't know, it was just, there's every once in a while I'll have an episode I really, really like, and then I'll have one that I was like, yeah, that was like kind of like, I don't know, they just don't do really good, consistent episodes, it seems like, all the way across. At least not on the seasons I'm on now.
Somebody said Criminal Minds love it. Yeah, that's a good show. I haven't watched it, but my niece loves it. Last Man Standing, that is hilarious. I love that show.
Criminal Minds used to be our thing, but I think caught up, or is it still on?
I think so.
Maybe we caught up with whatever seasons were on, whatever we were watching on. I don't know. We haven't watched in a long time.
Yeah, they're all the same.
Who does that?
Again, he hasn't been here for a few days, has he?
No, he's been MIA.
Yeah. We missed you.
Maybe.
Kids were wanting my attention, Nikki. No, we don't have auctions near us. I live in a town of 5,000 people, and surrounding towns are even less. Huh. Well, there's a good business opportunity for you.
Yeah, it's true.
TJ wants to know, does anyone here use large water filters?
Sharking Mom Deals, I have always wanted to be a lawyer. My whole childhood, I wanted to be a lawyer. And my whole adult life, I have always wanted to be on jury duty. I feel like Pauly Shore. Anyways, I've always wanted to be on jury duty just because I thought it would be so cool. But of course, if I ever was, I'd probably be on some stupid case. But I always thought it'd be so much fun to be on jury duty, but they never, ever have called me. I only vote so I can get on jury duty, but they've never called me.
I've never been called up for jury duty. And again, I also haven't been registered to vote until this last election for like 12 years. So I don't think they even knew where I was at. No, I'll totally go. I would love it.
Me too. I think that'd be so much fun, especially if you got on like a good murder case or something.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
I got called once, and I've always been registered to vote. And my case wasn't very exciting. It was just like a DUI case.
And the sad thing is that there's all these people who get called multiple times. I know somebody who gets called like at least once a year for jury duty and has to go in. And she hates it. She's like, son of a bitch, I gotta go to jury duty again. You know? And it's like, dang it, why won't they call me? I want to do it. I do it every time.
Because they watch the show and they know you're going to let people off the hook because they're cute.
Come on, it's Martin Short.
TJ,
No, I bet you could call. I bet you could call the courthouse or something and tell them, you know, I'm volunteering for jury duty. So if you ever need somebody to, you know, be on the jury, just call me up.
I know they'd probably say this is a weirdo. We're putting her on the blacklist.
Well, I never thought about that, but
TJ said he bought 25 20-inch tall sediment filters, but can't figure out who would use such big filters. They could be pools, jacuzzis. I mean, they're not 20 inches. You could search by what I would do if you can't figure it, because obviously there's not any numbers on them, or you would have said that. Just search by the length and like the inner diameter, and just search on Google and see if you can find something that's close. And then that may kind of lead down to something that goes, oh, they're this type that leads to something that leads to something. Like search by, like if they're 21 inches long and they have an outer diameter of 7 inches, then search like 21 space 7 filter and see if you can come up with anything like that.
yeah.
Tim says, well, okay, what about Pee Wee Herman? Not Pee Wee Herman, because he's a real life. Where Martin Short isn't. He just played one on TV.
Yeah, most definitely.
Y'all need to get one of these fidget spinners. They're like the funnest thing ever.
I ordered some for my son, but they haven't come yet.
I got another one coming too.
Oh.
This one lights up. It's pretty cool.
Speaking of Pee Wee Herman.
Yesterday was like my total kid day. I got my funky sunglasses. I had my red nose. I got my fidget spinner. My husband's like, what are you, re going back to being a teenager or what? I'm like, I don't know. I says, I'm so cool. I got my cool sunglasses. I got my fidget spinner, my smartphone. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Jim, with the Pee Wee Herman story.
No, I just said when you went from Pee Wee Herman being weird to a fidget spinner, I don't know. Just to me, it just kind of tied in. Just don't take your fidget spinner to a movie house.
Wow.
Sometimes you just really get into the movie.
Oh, stop.
I've been gone for about a week. Oh, I'm sorry, Fishing and Picking. He's had unforeseen medical problems.
Oh.
That's not good. I hope you're okay.
Oh.
Yeah, TJ says finally found the unit they work in. Thanks all.
Oh, wow, that was quick.
Yeah.
I was going to say, because I just kind of glanced, I searched like 20 inch filter, and they could have been a restaurant filter, like somebody had mentioned, or they could have been a whole house filter. Filters can be easier. I mean, if you find them, they can be, good, or they can be really tough. I tend to, just because I'm easily frustrated, steer away from ones unless they're really cheap that don't have any kind of numbers on them. Jim Bennett, when he was here the other day, and I came across some of them. In a thrift store, there were a couple cases of like brand new ones, but they weren't anything fancy, and the only numbers were on this like Chinese shipping label on the outside of the box, and I was like, yeah. And then when you Googled that number, you couldn't really find anything, and I was like, yeah, it's kind of it was too iffy. You could have possibly sat on them forever and never sold one without really being able to do your research right there. No, buddy. Where's Salary?
Doing a yard sale.
Yeah, she's doing a yard sale today, so we got a commission.
Her and Naked Man are busy making money.
Yep.
Nice.
Instant.
TJ says 3 filter system under the sink. I paid $1 for 25 new filters from auction.
Nice.
Now I know how to list them. Very
I think
good.
for $1, I'd probably grab any. For 25, I might probably grab any filter. These ones we saw the other day were 50 cents a piece. If it's got 3 filters, though, TJ, that may be a whole house system, where it's a hell of a filtration. You're gonna have some seriously pure water under your sink.
Yeah.
Very
Actually,
nice.
I've had I can't remember what the name. I know they're a 3M filter, but I've not sold any of them. I need to kind of go in and reevaluate those and find out what's going on with those. I think I've got 2 or 3 of them, and they're pretty large, but yeah, I just haven't sold them.
Okay, TJ said, hang on, let me research. So they're ice spring filters. Whole house. He's saying they're ice spring filters. I only have the sediment filters. I assume there are 2 other types. It could just triple filter it. Or it could take 3 different ones. Let me see. I didn't know. So you just have the kind that don't have like the meshy stuff on them. They're just the sediment type, right?
Yeah, I think that's what he's.
That could be like the initial one. and then it goes to the other one.
Right.
I would look that system up. Actually, there's one on Amazon that's got a whole bunch of charts that tells about the rough filter, the fine filter, and the carbon filter for one of those ice spring systems. They show it in all the thumbnail pictures. Here, look at this. This might help you a little bit. Go put that ASIN, because I can't put links in here. Go put that ASIN number in a search box on Amazon and look at the pictures.
Metal that has white pieces of leather for streamers on it. A wood shelf.
I'll be right back.
With a blue and black
All
top.
right.
I don't know which wood shelf, but it's on one of them.
Oh, shit.
So Dusty, I got my light kit in.
Yeah, I saw your pictures yesterday, and I looked at it, and I was gonna reply to it, and I got sidetracked.
I'm kind of excited about that. I think it's really gonna help my pictures a lot.
Oh, this is freaking awesome. Hold on, I gotta write something down real quick. I forgot one of my passwords and I just remembered it. Yeah, I looked at it. Now, I didn't see anything wrong with the way you had it. You know, you were asking for like opinions or whatever. I thought it looked great. The only thing I couldn't quite figure out. Where's your group? Hold on, let me go back to it. So you got one reflective umbrella, and then
Yes.
one that's more the shine
Two
through
white.
type.
So I've got 2 white and then one silver.
So you got 3
And I wasn't
umbrellas.
really sure what yeah. And I wasn't really sure what the silver one was. If it's like a reflective or, you know,
It
I really
bounces
didn't know.
back. It's made, yeah, it's reflective. It's made to bounce back to be indirect light. So
Uh-huh.
with that type, it would shine up through, you know, up into the shiny and then bounce back.
Right.
Whereas the other umbrellas can be used either way
Mm-hmm.
to shine through, or they will bounce back a little bit, but they're more, you know, well, obviously they're more transparent, so they won't bounce back as much.
Right.
Trying to figure out what. So where is that? Did you have your mannequin in a different place?
Yeah, it's kind of like around the. I think it's like the third.
I see it. Is that the same room or is that a totally different room?
No, it's a completely different room.
Oh, okay. I got you.
This is like the laundry room, which sounds crazy, but I had to put. I didn't have any room in my office for all the lighting.
Right.
I had to improvise a little bit.
Have you taken any pictures with it yet?
Yeah,
And big difference?
big, yeah, huge difference.
I know. I didn't realize how bad my pictures sucked. I mean, I'm not saying yours sucked, but I didn't realize how bad mine sucked until I got a lighting kit, and I was like, "Holy crap! It is so easy to take good pictures."
Right. That's what I was thinking. I was like, oh my God, this is going to be a game changer. I think. I just think my pictures are going to be they're going to look so much better. And of course, you know, we all think the same thing. Oh, it's not going to make that big of a difference. And, you know,
No,
I
it
don't have
makes
the
a
money for that right
huge.
now and everything, but it's definitely a good investment, I think. Jim Cooncat says, what's a good day of the week to start a 10-day auction?
The 15th of February. I mean, it depends on what your auction. That's a long auction, though, to do at 10. I mean, you got to think about it. You're going to have to hold people's. It's going to be something people really, really, really want, though, to hold their attention and have them coming back to bid for 10 full days.
Yeah. That's a long auction.
So, I mean, if you're going to do it, I mean, I would start it on a Thursday, probably. I mean, because that way you'd end up on a Sunday.
Yeah. Actually, you know, I mean, that's, you know, with the holiday coming up, it could go either way. You know, there's going to be people that are going to be out and about, but then there's also going to be people that are just staying home, relaxing. They're on their iPad. You know, they're just, you know, fiddling around and everything. I think it could go either way. I think it's going to be a really good weekend for sales. That's just my thought, but yes, there's going to be people out and, you know, doing stuff, but you know, there's a lot more. I'd say there's probably more people that just stay home and hang out than, you know, out and about.
The only thing bad about Memorial Day weekend is for eBay, I think you compete with a lot of garage sales. So then you get people that regular buyers that just go out garage selling too.
True. I think Sunday night is really going to be a good sale. Sunday night, Monday morning.
No.
I think that's really going to be a good sale time.
Monday for people that don't have to work that day.
Exactly.
Wow. I swear that Facebook software listens to your computer, listens to your microphone.
What?
So now I have suggested groups showing up on Facebook. Court Junkie podcast
Oh my gosh.
just showed up. How creepy is that?
That's weird.
Well, let's see if there's anybody in it that I'm friends with. Doesn't look like it. Oh. Supposed to go see the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, and we didn't go.
You didn't go?
No, Tristan didn't feel good, and Gabe didn't feel good, and so we just put it off. And we might try to go this morning.
It's good. It's worth going to.
Well, I rewatched the other one the other night just because it had been so long. I didn't want to go see part 2 of a movie that I didn't even remember part 1. So we rewatched part 1 the other night.
I thought in ways I like the first one too. I kind of like the second one better than the first one. I thought it was a little funnier.
The first one better than the second one?
No, the second one better.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was funnier.
Huh.
They made the Drax character a lot funnier, where he says these like really like funny lines and stuff like that. He has like these one-hitter lines he says that are funny. So Groot is cute.
I don't think I've seen the first one.
It's good.
Really? Jack Smack's talking about UPS is going to start delivering on Saturday. They're rolling out. I think it's going to be a while if I remember correctly, but maybe not. I don't remember. But they're going to start. UPS has been testing Saturday deliveries in some areas, but they're going to start rolling out some Saturday delivery stuff and try to get it in place. I think it was by Christmas or something. Which, you know, I mean, makes sense. They've always had Saturday delivery. It was just for air packages.
Right.
But it makes sense. I mean, FedEx figured it out.
Right.
FedEx created home delivery, which doesn't run, which is off on Sunday, Monday, but they deliver Tuesday through Saturday. That makes sense. You're delivering to people's homes. Brilliant.
Right.
Deliver on Saturdays. People are home on Saturdays, you know. It's kind of like how UPS routes usually run more residential at the end of their route because they know people are more likely to be home. But it never made sense to me. I mean, obviously they don't want to, you know, their drivers make good money at UPS. They don't want to, you know, have to pay them major overtime and hire all new people, which they're going to have to do for this. But it never made sense to me why they didn't have some sort of Saturday delivery. Which should, depending on how they structure that should, if they have, that means they have their ground trucks and stuff moving on weekends more. That should cut down on like coast to coast shipping time with UPS ground, which takes almost a week. Used to take 5 business days. I don't know what, I haven't used UPS in so long, but that should cut a day or so off of that one, I would think. I wonder if UPS is doing that though, because you know they lost a decent amount of. I don't even know if Amazon uses them much anymore, but they lost a lot of Amazon's Prime business. I wonder if that's one of the reasons they're going to. I'm sure it is that they're going back to that to, you know, be like, hey, Amazon, look at us, we're here, we can deliver on Saturdays.
Yep, trying to get that business back.
Mm-hmm.
TJ says Amazon says only 3 of these filters in stock. Maybe he should FBA these.
What's the sales rank on them?
Yeah, that's
Or post the ASIN number in the side chat, TJ, if you can. Speaking of which, I'm still locked out of my.
Are you really?
They called again yesterday. I've got like 4 people working on it, and now that's been passed on to the engineers because apparently I'm the only person that it's happened to. And they've been back and forth about 3 or 4 times with a friend of mine at Amazon yesterday through emails, and she's like, "Dusty, I'm trying." She said, "Have you tried this?" Because apparently there's a workaround where you can, like, if the 2-step authentication didn't work and you put in your password and then you put in the 6-digit 2-step code on the end of your password, and I wrote her back. I said, well, that would be great, except I can't even get it to send me the code.
Right.
She's like, oh yeah, that's true. She said, all right, on to the engineers. So they're going to try to figure it out. I mean, and I don't care. It's not a major, like I said, there's really, I mean, it's not like I have any questions from buyers that, you know, I'm going to get dinged for.
Yeah.
Actually, I do. But it was spam, so I'm going to mark it as not needed.
Jack Smack says you're not the only person that the 2-step authentication is giving people fits.
No, it's not the normal what it's giving people fits on. It's like I got it all set up and it's there, and it takes me to the screen that says 2-step authentication. Please text a code to phone number ending in blank, or text a code to phone number ending in blank. And I hit that, and it goes to a page that says we're sorry. And apparently nobody else is getting that. Everybody else is having problems like setting it up, but nobody is getting this like error page after they ask for a code. That's where it gets weird, where it gets a little different.
Hmm.
I mean, according to two different people in the password department, they hadn't seen that particular problem. And I told them, I said, it's just scary because if you're going to roll that out, force that on everybody, and you don't even have the freaking kinks worked out, you're going to roll it out in a month's time. I said, what are you going to do when you have 500,000 pissed off Amazon customers that can't order anything, and they're blowing your phones up, and they're getting seller support in India that couldn't understand a damn word that I was saying,
Yeah.
What were you trying to sign up for?
The new security, the two-step authentication process, where when you go to sign into your Amazon, if it doesn't recognize your recognized device, kind of like banking does and stuff, it'll say, like, we don't recognize your device. Allow us to text you a code. It'll text you a code, which isn't a big deal because my phone's already right here. And I'm like, well, if they're going to force it on us anyhow, I might as well just go ahead and sign up. And yeah, that was a big mistake. No, it's not a cookie. No, it's not a cookie because we've already been down that road, Jack. Jack said it's an issue with the way your computer deals with cookies. Computer device you're using isn't being recognized. No, because we've tried it from two different computers and an iPhone browser, and it does the exact same error thing. So they finally did admit that it wasn't something on my end. It wasn't a device related, that it was an Amazon issue on their end. It was a programming issue. And one of the things, I've got an older Amazon account, so I threw this out there, and they were going to check on that because I used to be on what they call the legacy platform or whatever, the older Amazon selling platform. I said, could that be tied into a conflict in the code? And they were going to check and see if that was it.
Might be interesting. I mean, it sounds like a different kind of problem than what everyone else is having.
It worked just fine. I mean, it worked just fine when I set it up and sent me the code. It sent Tristan the code to her phone. She was sitting on the other couch. I said, what's that code? And I tried it. And then I came in and it just wouldn't do it from the desktop. And then when I got logged out of my Safari browser, then it was doing the same thing on the browser on the phone. We've tried, I've had 3 different people. We tried everything under the sun. We tried clearing cookies, getting rid of cookies, clearing everything completely. 2 different computers. It's just all jacked up.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not the same. Oh, well, I'm not going to explain it anymore. Tim Tempe's saying that if it comes up red error. No, I got through all that process and set it all up. It's hard to explain what I'm saying that it's doing. I ended up having to just send screenshots to them. I'm like, can I send you screenshots? Or can you call me? And they're like, yeah, we'll just call you. And then walk through page by page while they were looking at the screenshots. And they're like, oh, okay.
Right. It's when you have that visually in front of you, it
right
tells you completely different, and you understand it. Gotcha.
So how'd it go?
Went fine.
Did you find that microphone?
Oh, I looked for
Oh, okay.
I got the wash.
Found it.
Oh, well, I'm glad you're doing the wash.
I do have $100 sitting in my seller account on Amazon, though, that I wouldn't mind pulling out, but I can't pull it out from. I don't think you can sweep your money from the Amazon seller app. Gosh, that's like a record for me on Amazon here lately.
Their dog's back. They have filed a petition to.
Yeah.
Oh,
So you got anything going on today, Dusty?
I have a whopping 5 items to ship.
That's good.
No, not really.
Well, better than that.
Everything that's going on, I haven't been doing a whole lot. Sales are down. I know they're down. I know whose fault it is. It's been the same pile of stuff behind me for a while now. I've bought some stuff. I've listed a few little things, but I really haven't done a whole lot.
Yeah.
We were supposed to have plans for Memorial Day. We were supposed to go up to the lake and visit my wife's uncle at his place and stay in a little cabin up there and stuff, and right on the lake. And we didn't get. Well, I say we didn't get it booked in time. They filled up their brand new cabins, and they filled up back in February. So it's not like we would have been able to anyhow.
Right.
So I think we're going to go up there and do a fish fry with him, and then maybe go up there the week after Memorial Day and just spend a little time and do some stuff and go fishing and get him to take us out on the boat. And
Cool.
actually, they had boat rentals up there. I forgot about that. We may just rent a boat.
There you go.
Except they're pontoon boats. They're usually
How much does it cost to rent a boat down by you?
I mean, it's been a few years, but the last time we did, you could get about 6 hours with a pontoon boat for about $125.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're like $500 here.
No, it was cheap. Now, I will say that laughingly years ago that it was one time we rented, it was a pontoon boat with like a 15 horse Johnson outboard. And I'm like, how the heck, like, wow, we're going so fast. But so I usually look for places, make sure they have some kind of decent motor on the back of it where you can actually like pull a tube or something like that.
Yeah. We had a 20 horse on a boat, and Jim tried to ride in the tube, and the boat couldn't pull him with that 20 horse on it.
Hey,
What?
I'm right here.
Oh, sorry. Not that
After we got rid of our yearly campsite, we got rid of the pontoon too, because
yeah, we got rid of our pontoon too.
figured we wouldn't use it that often.
Can I tell my boat story?
Sure.
Can I tell my boat story? One time I was in this bar parking lot.
One time at French camp. Okay, I buy a boat for $90. It's from a camp that shut down, and long story on why the camp had to shut down. But anyway, so they shut down this camp to settle a legal problem with one of the people.
Catholic church camp.
Yes, and a young camper. Anyway, so they're settling their legal problem, and they're selling off all the stuff. So I buy this boat for $90. It has got a 20 horsepower Johnson on the back, and it's a Shell Lake boat. It's about 12 or probably about 14 feet long. So I sell that boat, that $90 boat, for $350 with a different motor that I bought for $10 at a different auction. So I got $100 in this boat, turned into $350. Still has a 20 horse Johnson. I then buy a $50 boat with a Mercury on the back that don't run, that I part out, and I sold probably about $150 worth of parts off that, paid $50 for it. So I'm $100 to the good on that. So I'm about $400 to the good. I strapped the motor to the back of this, I strapped the 20 horse to the back of this little 13-foot runabout. It don't go like crazy, but it's not a free boat. It's a negative $400 boat. I made $400 on this thing. So I'm driving around the chain on our 28 leg chain with all these big fancy bayliners and all the fancy boats. And I got this little boat, but I made $400 on it, and I'm driving a free boat. It was awesome. Yeah. And now the boat I'm going to drive this summer, we bought for $100 off of eBay. It was up by Superior,
Ashland.
And it was one of those It's Donated boats. Well, they had their blue shrink wrap on it. I'm like, hell, because Tar goes, well, they got a tarp on it. I'm like, that ain't tarp, that's blue shrink wrap. Well, they wouldn't cut the shrink wrap. They'll show you the inside. The family didn't want to cut it. Well, I'm like, well, why would you pay all that money to have the thing shrink wrapped if it's no good? I bid $100 and got it for $100. We cut the shrink wrap. I mean, it was like pristine and size perfect. So now I got 115 horse?
Yeah.
Okay, 115 horse Evinrude on the back of this 17-foot runabout that we donated for $100. It was awesome. So that's gonna be our next. Now we're really moving up in the world. Now we got a super big classy boat. We got inner tubes, we got pool and all this other crap.
It's a cool boat. Is it a 65?
1965.
But it's real super retro looking, and it's got like perfect seats in it and stuff. It is kind of cool if you like vintage boats.
I like really cheap boats.
Yeah.
I like them less than free.
I have a fishing boat, but
yeah, we got a couple.
We got to get rid of the pontoon. We got rid of the paddle boat.
Well, paddle boat's just too
my husband's. I have a belly boat or a belly. What is that called? A belly boat.
What the hell's that?
Inflatable thing. It's this inflatable thing. I got it for like $10 at an auction. It's got flippers and you got a little row with it and a little anchor. I got that for fishing. And then we got rid of the paddle boat. We got rid of the pontoon. So we just have the fishing boat and then my little belly boat. And
Tara named her belly boat Jim.
That's funny.
It's like a big raft that you sit in. And then my husband wants to get a kayak this summer. He wants a
I want
kayak.
to get a kayak. We have a paddle boat. I'm going to sell it because I'm like, I'm not going to ride around in a paddle boat. You know, that's too much work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It used to be
Rick,
fun with the kids.
paddle boats are fun when your kids are little. They're fun for like an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, not for like the day or something.
Now, what we'll probably do, I'm actually looking because this is a different end of the lake than what we usually go to. I'm trying to find their rates, but we'll probably rent jet skis because that's where we have
Oh, yeah. Money can't buy you happiness, but it can buy you a jet ski. And try to be happy while you're riding a jet ski.
But it can buy me a boat. It can buy me a truck to pull it.
There you go.
Hi, Barb.
What was that country song? Yeti 110, ice down with some silver bullet.
Yeah.
Jim Gaffigan's the one with the jet ski line. Which you can't buy, money can't buy happiness.
I love jet skis.
Jim Gaffigan. But yeah, I've heard that country song too.
I love jet ski, although there's really no difference between. I mean, there's really no comparison between a jet ski in the ocean versus a lake. I mean, a lake's still fun if that's all you have access to, but the ocean's just fun.
Okay, I don't go in the ocean.
They don't put their rates on their website. What a
No, because you don't have a radio. I don't think so. I think you go past the break while you have that.
My husband's looking at a diesel truck in Texas.
Well, buy them down south because then they don't have any Ross.
Yeah, that's what he's done. It's down in Texas.
I bought that one in Mississippi, and Jim goes under it because you know how it is up here with Russ on Nikki.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Oh my God, I can still see the part numbers on the frame,
No, on the body.
Oh,
on the body panels." You know,
It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
wow.
I'll never buy one up here again. Not one
Yeah.
up cheap. I did buy that Volkswagen Bug I told you. So but that is mostly plastic, so it don't have any rust.
Yeah,
on
when
it.
we're done with it, we're just gonna throw it out. Stuff when you're done with it, you just toss it.
Yeah, he's looking at this, I don't know, one of them Power Stroke trucks, whatever they're called. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But anyways,
So,
he's looking at one of those, so we might be flying down to Texas within the next
we
couple of
looked into flying to Mississippi, and it was super expensive because we were going to go to Florida. So it was like $350 a ticket, and there's 3 of us. We rented a car.
Because of
We
Dusty.
picked it up because of Dusty in Appleton, and it cost us
what did I wait? What did I do?
the rental car thing because you're always talking about how you rent a car and how it's cheap. So
Yeah.
I look into renting a car from like up here in Rylander, it's like $400. I look at Milwaukee, it's like $125. But anyway, Appleton, Jim found it in Appleton. I think it was on Travelocity. It was like $65. So he drove this new VW Jetta from Appleton to Jackson, Mississippi. It took us 12 hours. We drove through the night.
$20 worth of gas.
It cost $20 in gas and $65 to rent the car.
Nice.
For 3 people. It was me, her, and the kid. So that's we
Yeah.
had to buy 3 plane tickets.
I mean, if you rent, the key to doing rental cars is don't rent at the airport location. Rent at like one of the independent locations. Try to join their like rewards program to where you at least get a few little perks or whatever. I use Costco travel. If you have a Costco membership, you get about an extra 10% or a little bit more off of the Enterprise. I use Enterprise because I just like them. They're more professional. They'll pick you up.
Who did we get it through? I forgot. Was it Enterprise?
I'm in budget.
Or
Well,
might
and
have been-
and the other reason our budget and our Avis here are in like bad parts of town. They're really sketchy.
Ours was right at the airport.
But we had to
usually,
drive like 100 miles to our south because if we would have rented the car here by us, it would have been like $400.
And I used like Priceline, one of those.
plus the other reason we don't do. I mean, we have credit cards. We don't really use. I mean, for years we didn't have credit cards, and with Enterprise, even if you don't have a credit card, if you have a debit card, they'll still let you rent a car. It's not really,
And we
it's not really a major ordeal.
Yeah. We used our PayPal card, so yeah, that was one of the reasons we used budget.
Oh yeah, the
Really?
guy was really nice. He let us, because we figured we
Holy
were gonna have to park at the airport. He let us park our van for like 10 days for free in his parking lot.
Because I said, can we park? I said, I gotta take this thing over to the van to park, or take my van to the airport to park it. And he's like, was it that van sitting right there? I go, yeah. He goes, just leave it there. I go, okay, well, how much is that? He goes, no, just leave it there. I won't charge you nothing. Like, oh my God. Yeah,
Nice.
it was awesome.
Yeah, and we were gone like 10 days, wasn't it? We were gone a long time.
So it was like $10 a day. So it would have been, over $100
Yeah.
by the time you get tax or whatever. So that paid for the rental car right there, the free parking. Because if I would have flown, I would have had to pay to park for sure.
Yeah. And I don't know what it is about flying into Jackson, Mississippi, because we even looked like from O'Hare in Chicago, and it was $350 a ticket.
Yeah,
and then we
were
were thinking about flying to New Orleans and then renting a car and driving back up to Jackson, but then we did this other rental car thing.
See, because we're going to go on vacation this summer, and we're going to be gone, I don't know, 9 or 10 days or whatever. So it's easier to just do a weekly rental and do it for 2 weeks, because we've got a lot of driving and stuff coming up, and not put the miles on the car and like I always say and all that kind of stuff. I can get a full size car for 2 weeks for $362.
Wow.
And that's $362 including the taxes, everything else. The base rate is $334.
Limited miles.
That's unlimited. That'd be unlimited miles. Yeah.
Nice.
Which we would probably end up putting 2,500, 3,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
And that's just, to me, I mean, that's for full size. You can go up to an SUV from there for it's about 500 for 2 weeks total. Economy cars, 324. Intermediate SUV. What is an intermediate SUV? Nissan Rogue or similar. It's 429 total with tax and everything. And it's just, when you vacation or when you're traveling, it's like we were talking about Jim and Tara the other day. It's just, if you're going along and your cars have high miles, even if you're a great mechanic and carry all your tools, if you're gonna vacation, I don't want to have to worry about stuff.
Right.
And our cars all have enough miles that I would have to worry about stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when we usually go on long trips, we usually rent cars too, just because it saves wear and tear on the vehicles and nothing to worry about.
Well, Jim Bennett, I was talking with, he rented one to come down here, because they only have one vehicle. He could leave Ashley the car, and he got the Enterprise, and he has such a great relationship with him. He did the pick your own car, because he didn't care. It was just him driving from North Carolina to here to do a house closing and driving back. And he did the pick your own, whatever they call it, where you get a really cheap rate. And he gets there, and the guy at Enterprise, the manager, recognizes him because they rent, so much for long trips and stuff. And the guy goes, "What do you want to drive?" And Jim's like, "I don't know." And they put him in a Jeep Grand Cherokee. I mean, a nice big Jeep Grand Cherokee. And Jim's like, "Hell yeah." But Jim was telling me, he said a lot of times, they have a bunch of stuff going on the weekends, and Jim needs to be maybe at an auction or something, and Ashley's got to do the kids or whatever. Enterprise has a deal for $10. I think it's that pick your own thing where they can get a car for $10 a day. He's like, it's a no brainer. We'll just go grab a car for 2 days and have an extra ride.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm just gonna tell Nikki, because your husband's looking at those Power Stroke diesels. I bought this diesel truck in Mississippi. His handles like Southern Remarketers, and actually I watch his site. He had a whole bunch of Power Strokes in that he had in on his listings. Actually, he ain't a bad guy to deal with.
Yeah.
When you pull in there, it looks a little sketchy because it's like in the downtown area, but actually he was all right guy to deal with. They do a video on all their trucks. They got his dad does a video. Actually, they're funny to watch. But anyway, so you can hear it run and stuff like that. It's kind of nice.
And who was that?
His name it's Southern Remarketers. That's his.
Oh,
eBay
okay,
store.
yeah, I see about that. Yeah, he's got one he's looking at right now, so we'll see if he gets it. He's looking at it right now. He's trying to decide. make sure he gets the right one because it's a lot of money for those.
Yeah, what year is it?
I think 2015.
Oh yeah.
It's either 15 or 16. I don't know, but anyways, yeah.
Seeing budget in Avis here, like a compact car, I did the Costco, lets you compare side by side with the company, the same time period, $324 for a compact car with Enterprise. Budget's $566 and Avis is $457. And when you go to intermediate, it's like $343 with Enterprise, and then budget's $573 and Avis is $472. I mean, they can't even touch them really. And then I get rewards points. I think I actually have a free day or two built up with Enterprise rewards.
Nice. I remember years ago. Oh, sorry.
I've just if you get in there and just kind of like, because they have a tough job at those rental places. They're always running and people are always bitching about something. Just kind of get in there and schmooze a little bit at first. And be like, you can put me in something bigger and I ain't gonna complain. Whatever you want to get rid of off the lot, if it's bigger, you need to get rid of it because they have more demand for everybody wants the economy and compact on the small cars. So if that's what you've rented and you're willing to drive the bigger thing, that just opened up a free rental for them to get rid of that little car again. And you just took whatever. They don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember about 10, 12 years ago, my sister-in-law got such a good deal on a rental car, she didn't want to give it back. And she was only paying per month for unlimited miles. She was paying per month like it was to lease a vehicle. So she just kept driving. And she's like, no, I'm not bringing it back. I'm just going to keep paying it. And she did. She got to drive like a brand new vehicle for the same amount that she'd pay for a lease anyways. So
yeah,
she loved it.
I'm just kind of curious. I'm going to do a full month here and just see what it would be. Update search. It'd be about 700. But like I said, with that deal they have where it's like choose your own or whatever, I think that Jim Bennett uses. Enterprise.
One thing that I learned
I'll play around with it.
was where we're going. We were going to go on a trip somewhere. I think it was to California, and we were going to drive out there. And we found out because our plan was we were going to get a rental car here, and then drive it to California, and then turn the vehicle in California, and then fly home or something to that effect. Well, we found out that you cannot do that. You can't drive. You can drive out of state, but you can't return it out of state. You have to return it back to the same state that you. Otherwise, they charge you like a huge fee for that.
You can do it's like with U-Haul or anything else. You can do one ways, but yeah, it's pricier. Now, what I have found with U-Hauls and with rental cars, if you're taking one from an area that has an abundance of cars and you're doing a one-way to an area where they really need stuff, then sometimes you'll find these incredibly cheap rates because you just help them out from not having to move more cars down there. You drove it down there for them.
Right.
We're just playing around with dates. I was playing around with the dates just now, and it was amazing. If I did a Wednesday through a Wednesday, on that economy car, it was like $432. But when I changed it Thursday to Thursday, it went down to $324. So it's like airfare or anything else. You just play around with the dates and be kind of flexible.
Yeah, Dusty, you're right on that because that one that we took to Jackson, they must have needed cars down there because the same car, if we would just take it from just for shits and gigs, I was just, running different scenarios. If we'd have taken that thing from Green Bay to Chicago, which is very close, it actually cost more.
Right.
So cheaper. The rate was cheaper for us to drive it all the way down to Mississippi.
Because they probably needed them down there or whatever. It's just, I think it's fun to just sit around and play with it and see the different scenarios.
I thought maybe it was cheap because it was a New York car, like they were trying to get it back over to the East Coast or something, but I don't know if that matters.
And if you're going to go deep into Mississippi, New York plates is always a great idea.
Yeah, we look like a bunch of Yankees.
Why are we getting pulled over every 10 miles, Dad?
Why do the cops keep breaking our headlights and taillights?
There was a guy that got really early to the place, so it was locked up, and he had like his detailer, and he really gave us like the triple look, like what are these Yankees doing down here in this car?
You know it's bad when the trooper walks up to your window and goes, "Y'all lost." Jack Smack said the bigger the car, the better to me. I used to have to drive one of those little economy cars for work. I hate them. We had I don't remember what, a Hyundai Accent hatchback or something, several rentals back a couple years ago. And it was all right. I mean, gas was a little bit higher. That's the thing. You know, it's not, gas now is to the point where, I mean, unless you get, a full-size SUV. I mean, the cars we drive only get about 15 miles a gallon. So, anything that gets better than that is probably going to save enough money, on gas in the long run that it's going to, a lot of it's going to pay for itself.
Well, we went all the way to that auction, and we hauled a lot of stuff back, and the trailer.
The only thing that sucks after renting a car for that long is getting back in your own vehicle and being like, damn.
Yeah.
My car kind of sucks compared to that.
We had, I think it was a Volkswagen Jetta. It was like a 2016. It was real new. And I'm like, oh, well, because they upgraded us for whatever reason to take that car back down there. Anyway, it was, by the time we got done riding in it, me and Jim hated it so much, we said we'd never buy one. It was so uncomfortable to ride in.
It's like made out of hard cardboard or something. I mean, there's like no good way to sit in them while you're back. Because she wants to trade, let me drive. I'm like, oh, great, I can get out of this uncomfortable passenger seat. I get in the driver's seat, it's 10 times worse. It's like somebody's folding my back in half.
Oh, it was horribly uncomfortable.
You want to talk about a couple of hicks? Because all our cars are like old. I mean, we just picked up that Bug. It's a 1998. Most of our cars are still in the 90s. Okay, so we rent this car. Finally, I gotta go back in and talk to the man. I'm like, sir, this is embarrassing, but how do you start this automobile? Like, well, you use a fob. And I said, yeah, I figured that. And I said, there's some button that says start, but it won't do nothing. He's like, okay, well, you sit down, you put your foot on the brake, and I'm like, I didn't know you have to put your foot on the brake and then push start. I never started with them push button cars before. We had a stack of lunches.
Yeah, we really look like we got a turnip.
Put our live chickens in the trunk.
My husband was also looking at this Rubicon down there too, but because I want a Rubicon. But is that what it's called? A Rubicon? Yeah. Anyways, I told him, I says, we got so many damn vehicles now. I said, you're going to have to start selling some shit here. Jesus. Because we have the Stratus, we have the Dodge, and we have the van. And he wants to buy his truck, and he wants to buy me a Rubicon. I'm like, Jesus.
I drive the Dodge Stratus. I'm sorry, every time you say that.
Nikki, until you're married to Jim. I've started making a rule. If you bring the car in, one has to go out. Like that.
Yeah.
Two go in, one comes out.
I need to start making that rule.
Yeah.
So we have the Dodge truck and the Dodge Stratus. I hate that Stratus. I think I'm going to give that to my oldest daughter.
I don't like Dodges. No offense, anybody.
Yeah.
I don't care for them.
I like older Dodges.
I'm not a Dodge person.
We don't usually like Dodges either, but when you get a good deal,
Yeah. I don't like both, but I have that Bug in my yard now.
But if I can't get that Rubicon, I'd like to get another. I'd like to get another Ford Escape. I really like that. I had a Ford Escape a few years ago. I love that.
Yeah.
I called it Tank. It would haul anything. I loved it. But I told my husband, I said, well, the Rubicon isn't really realistic for me because I can't haul anything. And he's like, well, that's where you come in with the truck. I'm like, yeah, but I like the van because I can haul stuff in it.
Yeah.
Jeeps are fun. Jeeps are fun for about the first 6 months.
Yeah. I'd really like to have a Hemi, but can't afford the damn gas in those.
I keep the 1999 conversion van.
Yeah.
I know where you can get one for $500.
You still haven't sold that?
Oh, well, he made a stupid mistake. I'll let him.
I
talk.
held it for some jackass. I broke my own. I never, ever do that. And the guy gives me a sob story. He says him and his girlfriend and their kid are going to live in it. So I'm like, by the time it's done, I feel like I should give it to him, or should I call Child Protective Services? You got a kid living in a van,
I told him he ain't gonna come back. Oh no, he'll come back. He ain't gonna give you shit. And
I got shit.
That's why you can't hold stuff with no money.
Mm-hmm.
You make a mistake, you open up your heart a little bit, it gets stomped on.
Yeah. Happens every time.
Probably bought tattoos or something with the money. Him and his old lady spent their van money in the tattoo parlor.
Probably. Or the bar.
You're horrible.
Well, I got a call from my ex-wife years ago when my daughter first got out of school or whatever, was on her own. I get a call from my wife. Oh, it's an emergency. Your daughter needs money for rent. Money for rent? I'm like, well, she's never had a problem before. Oh no, she just had this emergency where she needs money for her rent. So I call my son. I'm like, hey Jimmy, what the hell's going on with your sister? Oh yeah, well her and her boyfriend went to the tattoo parlor and they spent all their rent money on tattoos.
Oh my God.
They need to figure it out. That's how you learn your lesson, not to spend all your money on tattoos. And they figured it out.
That's called tough love.
Well, the problem is, if you give money to his ex-wife, it never goes to the kid. It stays in her pockets. You can't give her money.
She
at
takes
all.
out a handling fee.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh lordy, 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 lordy.
I've always liked Jeep Wranglers, the hard
We have a Cherokee.
tops, but I also like that Rubicon too.
Yeah. We have a Cherokee. I like the Cherokee. It's old, but
It's small, but it burns gas like a crazy nut.
Yeah.
It just loves gas.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great gas mileage. But it's like a 90 or 91. It's only got 40,000 miles on it.
Yeah, it's a little Grand Cherokee. I mean, you can uncomfortably fit 5 people in it, but the thing gets like 50 miles to a gallon. I don't get it. It's got a straight 6 in it, but it just loves gas.
That's like Tristan's Jetta. I mean, it's if you get 17 miles a gallon on the highway, you're doing great, and it's a 5-speed. If you get about 15 around town, it's always had crappy gas mileage.
Huh.
I would have expected better out of a Jetta. Wow.
Yeah, you would
Nope.
think a little bit better.
But we bought it from our landlord, and I asked him. I said, when we bought that from you, it was like 100,000 miles or whatever. I said, did it ever get? He's like, nope. He said that's why I got rid of it and got a diesel Passat. He said because they got like 65 miles a gallon. Well, according to Volkswagen, they got 65 miles a gallon. And then he got caught up in that, that whole deal where they had to buy him back because they were faking the gas mileage or whatever it was, and they bought his Jetta back for him, and he actually made money. Or his Passat, rather, and went and bought another Passat.
Angela says she's got a high gas price of $2.50. That's pretty high.
How much is it?
$2.57.
Oh, really, 240 here, and we're usually higher than most other places.
She said she's in Syracuse, New York.
Huh.
Let's see, Gas Buddy national map. What the hell's a heat map?
And that's pretty far north, I think.
Wow. You should see go to Google and put in Gas Buddy national map, and it shows you like prices by zone or whatever. And of course, everything out west, California, on up into Washington State, and all that's all like awful. Here, I'll put a link to it. Southeast is the cheapest. Now, Kansas, pretty much the Midwest down through the Southeast, and then Florida gets a little higher. Believe it or not, it looks like Mississippi. Well, Mississippi and Alabama, parts of Tennessee, and a little bit of Arkansas are all kind of the cheapest.
Huh.
Yeah, my mom and dad live in Kissimmee, Orlando area there, and you buy fuel there, it's always higher than the surrounding areas because they have all those add-on taxes. Because they don't have an income tax, so they put everything on the room taxes, gasoline, anything that tourists use, they tax the devil out of.
Looks like South Carolina is currently the lowest with an average of 203, Mississippi with an average of 208, Alabama with an average of 209. Let's go to the end of the list. California, 310. That's another reason I'd never live in California.
No surprise there.
Hell, California is higher than Hawaii.
Yep.
And Alaska.
And I thought they were going to secede from the United States.
Not yet, unfortunately. Our cheapest gas right now in... Let me see my zip code. Is the Jet Pep at 205. Oh, that's a sketchy neighborhood. That's where you get your gas and pay at the pump and just go. Leave your car. I leave my car running.
Jim has a machete underneath the seat when we go down to Florida. He got caught by some guy. We were in Georgia, and I had to go to the bathroom. It's like, I don't know, 12 o'clock at night. And I don't like stopping in Atlanta, so I go like maybe an hour, maybe 40 minutes south of Atlanta. So we're going to like a Flying J or Pilot or something because I figure they're well lit and there's people around. So I go in to use the bathroom. He's in the back getting a pair of pants because it's getting cold because we're dressed like Florida yet. Anyway, this guy comes up looking for gas money. And he's a very big guy. I mean, he could definitely take me out. So I get back to the car. He's sitting with a machete on his lap. I'm like, what's wrong with you? Is it sketchy? He's like, what do you think? He goes like this with the machete. Let's get the hell out of here. Of course, I didn't notice when we're going back on the on-ramp, there's like a Georgia State prison sign or whatever, you know. He's like, you probably just got out of jail or something.
Oh my God.
Won't they give them bus money when they get out?
Well, this guy had a car, and he said, "Oh," he comes up to Jay. He goes, "Well, you never guess what happened to me. I just found my old lady in bed with another guy. So he needed gas money to go home to his mama's house." He goes, "I don't need no money. Just give me gas." And
Fill up my car.
so then Jim goes into, "We're broke. I don't even know if we have it. We got to go to Wisconsin. I don't even know if we have enough money to make it back there." Guys kind of looking at us. Then he goes and hits somebody else.
So he pulled in with an Escalade. So he went over with the Escalade.
Oh, he went by the Escalade.
And the Escalade didn't even get gas.
Oh, did he just leave?
I started talking to the Escalade guy, rolled up his window and just drove away and didn't even get his gas. I mean, this guy, he's now. Have you guys ever saw that movie, the second Aliens movie, where they have the Space Marines or whatever? They're dropping in on the planet, but they got like this sergeant with a big gap between his teeth, and he's really, built. This guy looks just like that guy. It could be his twin brother. I'm like, oh my God, this guy could crush my head like a nut.
Actually, I lied. I was just searching by zip code. Costco here is 194.
Oh, boy.
Our Costco always has a line. We went shopping at Costco the other day, and I just didn't bother to fill up. I'm sorry. I'm not going to wait in line for 20 minutes to pump gas.
Yeah. I feel you.
For $1.94 a gallon.
Yeah, but I'm looking. I said we were 209. That was for that zip code. I mean, I've got other places that are near to me that are 199. A ton of places that are 199. So I mean, really, I'm saving 5 cents a gallon. And that car only holds 15 gallons. So is it worth sitting in line for 20 minutes to save 70 cents?
I used to drive a Ford Festiva with 12-inch wheels.
I love any story that started with, I used to drive a Ford Festiva. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I used to drive a Ford Festiva too.
I got it stuck one time. I actually went around to the end that was in the ditch, picked up that bumper of the car, and actually slid it back up onto the road. Like a go-kart. But my dad would be on me. He'd be, oh, yeah, Jimmy, gas is going up. You better go get gas. I'm like, Dad, I get gas once every other week, whether I need it or not. I mean, it's got a 9-gallon tank. It never goes empty. I mean, I got almost 50 miles to a gallon.
Yeah.
Worried if gas was going up 10 cents. I don't care.
Yeah, I know. I drove a Ford Festiva for a couple of years. I loved it. And a Geo Metro also.
That was when gas was really high here, when we were like $4.50, almost $5 a gallon,
I had a CRX with 300,000 miles that still got 50 miles a gallon. Had no air conditioner, but I didn't care. I mean, it was like gas was $3 and something a gallon, and I'm like, I can drive for 2 weeks, and it only had a 9-gallon gas tank on top of that.
Yeah.
When I drove that Ford Festiva, people were offering me just crazy money for that thing too, because of the gas prices.
They have this weird cult following. We would be in gas station, we have a Ford Festiva too. It's this weird club or something. Yeah. We have people giving us we were at the gas station, which buy a miniature golf thing, and they're like, "Oh, we saw you drove a Ford Festiva, and we can't use these golf passes, so we're gonna give them to you because you drive a Ford Festiva." Okay.
We saw you drive a Ford Festiva. Can we buy you lunch or something? Do you need help?
Do you guys swing?
Obviously, folks qualify for some type of relief, so we're going to use some money.
Can we drive you to a shelter?
Yeah.
Oh, and my CRX was ugly too. It was one of the baby blue ones, which is the worst color they ever made. And it was rusted on the fender wells. I mean, it had so many. It was dented, and the hood was all faded a different color. And I just kept on driving it. I didn't care.
I hit a deer with that Festiva, so it was really ugly. But I'll tell you, hitting a deer with a Festiva is the scariest fucking thing you'll ever do in your life. It ran up out of this deep ditch, and it jumped right in front of the car, and I hit it. And it was so gross because it reared up on its hind legs and goes like, ugh! I'm like, oh my God. And I thought it was going to come right through the windshield because the hood's this long, I'm like, that was scary as shit. So then we drove it for a long time, but the front end messed up, and finally it went away.
Hey, my daughter hit a deer with her Ford Escort, and it cracked her windshield, and there was still hair in the windshield, and she was freaking out.
Oh, it was
that had to been scary.
I don't know how it didn't hit the windshield because it reared up. Its front legs are like this, and it groans, and it's summer. The window's open. I hear everything. I'm like, oh my God, this is so gross. And this thing's coming through this windshield, and thank God it didn't.
Okay, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody had a question in the group, and they asked, you've mentioned selling breast pumps in the past. Do you sanitize breast pumps before you list them? I noticed that one listing said that they'd sanitize them as per eBay's requirements. I have 5 pumps to list, and I'm wondering how much I need to do to get them up. On the breast pumps, on the Medela, the really nice ones, does the breast milk actually go into the pump, or does it stay within the tubing? Does anybody know?
I've never used a breast pump or one.
I think it goes. I've never used one either, but I think it is in the tubing.
I'm trying to search the selling requirements, and I'm not seeing anything specifically.
I don't even do anything with the breast pump itself. Accessories, I usually wash those up with Dawn and water. But I always put in there that you should wash before use or whatever. But if it looks clean, I just sell it.
I don't see any requirements on that though. What would I search on Google? eBay seller requirements, breast pumps.
Yeah.
Let's see. Help. I hate trying to find things manually on eBay. I mean, I don't know. I can't imagine buying something like that used off of eBay and then not, as a buyer, not sanitizing the crap out of it, you know?
Right. Right. Yeah, I would think that that wouldn't. I would think that that would be banned to sell used breast pumps. You know, with the tubing and everything.
Oh
I would
no,
think.
used breast pumps sell really good on eBay. I saw them all the time. I love them.
But you know, that's the thing that, you know, if you have used, if the tubing's been used and all of that, that's not sanitary because that's, you know, bodily fluids. So I don't know. Just
Tim
saying.
Timpey said, could there be any state laws? I know some states you can't sell beds or use mattresses or whatever. That's usually a state by state. That's usually an individual health department thing too.
Yeah.
Good job, dog.
All right, here we go. Medical drugs, devices, and healthcare policy. Fine does not bring up breast pump on that page. Healthcare items. Medical devices. I don't know. I mean, I've never cleaned them, but I don't sell like the used tubing and stuff like that. I mean, if there was anything that was used, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I think you could just take the tubing off and, you know, just clean up the unit, and I think you should be fine. And you should be able to buy the tubing, you know, with the pumps. You should be able to buy those, or even just the tubing. That's what I think. Megan Carl says, so tired and sore from yesterday. Can't concentrate on my eBay stuff. Oh, come on, girl. I'm gonna get busy. TJ says, my mother hit 4 deers in a 6-month period. 3 write-offs, luckily no injury. Wow. I have never hit a deer, but can you all hear me?
Barely. You're real faint.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah,
I had
Shelly was saying that I was really, really, really faint.
You are really faint. I just quit talking whenever you're talking and like go like this.
Sorry. I don't know what's going on with my computer where it's acting weird.
Yeah, you're not as loud as you usually are, but I can hear you. Just got to tell Dusty to turn up his bell tone.
Dusty here.
Well, I'm doing research on selling used mattresses.
Matter of fact, I got like 3 breast pumps I got to get listed.
Oh, good.
I pick them up. I can pick them up for like $1 a piece at the auction all the time.
Yeah.
And it'll be like full of accessories, you know.
And you know, sometimes you get a bag and it's not even been used.
Yeah.
You know, you got everything still in the bag, and you know,
Mhm.
so those are definitely the good ones.
I love breast pumps. I always get shit at the auction when I buy them. But yeah, I love them. I love selling them. It's like I said, I buy them for like $1 a piece, and then this one I bought for $1, or I think it was $2, and I ended up finding $1 in the bag. So I ended up only paying $1 for it, and then yeah, I sold the thing for like $100.
Nice.
But those, before everybody goes out and buys all breast pumps,
Now you
all
probably
breast pumps are
ruined
not created equal. I know. All breast pumps are not created equal, so do look them up before you buy them.
Yeah, it's usually the backpacks do good, the double pumps, the pump in style advanced. So usually do a lot better than just the pump in style. So make sure it says advanced. I mean, if it's cheap enough, get it. But
Yeah. Yeah, I don't usually look them up when I'm getting them for $1. I don't usually look them up before I get them, but you know, someone's spending $1. But
you try them out on your horses.
Oh, I thought you, because my friend had a foal born, and I had to go over there and help it and make sure that the foal got the colostrum. So I did have to milk the horse last week.
Did you make a video?
No, I'm not making
Dang it.
me this lady milking a horse. Well, it's not like milking a cow. You know, you just get a little bit to put it on your finger so the baby teeth just start encouraging to come to the nip.
That's
that would have been cool as hell if you made a video. This is for Dusty.
Exactly.
If you ever milk a horse again, you got to do it for Dusty.
Well, I don't have any pregnant mares, so I don't think I'll be doing it. But anyway, I did think of you because last week I did milk a horse.
That's funny.
You milked a horse.
No.
You used to milk the stallion when we had a breeder.
Yeah, you did. One night in a bar parking lot.
Yeah.
Milk your horse.
Wait, did you say you milked the stallion?
I'm messing with them.
That's the salty milk.
Oh, Nikki.
like
What?
making of a conversation. So what did you do this morning?
I'm not the one who milked the.
Yeah, no. You don't have to milk a stallion. You use a breeding phantom.
Yeah, I know.
That's just wrong.
It's just wrong. It's
Oh,
just,
tell him about that guy who used to watch you breed horses, though, that weirdo.
you used to stop on the road. I mean, I'd usually have my mom helping me because I'd have her hold the mare. Then I'd bring the stallion out. And there's this neighbor down the road, so if he catches when we're doing it, you can see from the road. I usually try to do it behind the barn. He'd stop. And he'd watch, which was totally creepy.
It was like that, whatever, that green guy or whatever, in that Freddy got fingered where he's watching the bird.
Yeah, it was gross.
Creepy. What's that cookie?
Jack Mac says things you can never unhear.
Pretty much.
So true. So
I
very
made
true.
it for a minute.
Yeah.
Nice, Allie.
Yay!
Hey.
How's the rummage sale going?
We had one customer so far.
You've had what?
One customer.
All right.
Oh,
Well, it's Thursday, so
Did you put the right address?
Feel better.
Yes, smart ass.
Making sure.
Yeah. Yeah, advertise on Facebook and stuff. Facebook groups.
Yeah. Advertise it on all the yard sale sites and all that good stuff.
We had a garage sale. It was probably like the third person who came. She bought everything. We had to shut down the garage sale.
That'd be
Wow.
awesome.
She went to an antique store and she just bought basically everything we had. We had to
Wow.
Furniture. And then we did it is I had a house for sale this time last year, about 10 miles from me. So we decided we're going to do a garage sale to kind of also show the house for sale, use it like an open house. Yeah. And she cleaned it out.
Huh.
I put photos on the Facebook sites and it worked really good.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in this area that watch those, so
Yeah.
I just figured today's going to be a slow day. I know that because
Probably.
everybody's working still and everything, and the weekend hasn't officially started yet. But tomorrow, it's probably going to be pretty damn busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Wisconsin, pretty much nobody has jobs, so pretty much we garage sale.
That's Michigan.
Yeah, here too.
Michigan's horrible for jobs.
Everybody's a quote unquote independent contractor, which means you're unemployed, but you're not getting
that's
unemployment.
just this part of Wisconsin.
Wisconsin has jobs. How else do they pay for their beer?
You just figured it out.
Oh, I'm selling a lot of Legos. Turns into a fighter jet for Star Wars. I started the auction at 15 because there was no comparable listings for it, and it's selling.
Cool.
Yay.
Oh, the no-see-ums are out.
Oh yeah.
They were out last week here.
Oh, driving me nuts.
Yeah, the no-see-ums and the
What's a nose?
and mosquitoes.
It's like a little
Yeah, they're bugs.
that flies in your face and bites.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's kind of like a gnat, Valerie,
Okay. Okay.
but they call them no-see-ums.
Yeah, they bite. You don't see them until they bite you. Little bastards.
Vampire.
And the ants that are this big.
Piss ants. That's what we call those.
Yeah.
The big ones?
Yeah.
How big?
They're piss. They're piss ants. The
They're-
big ones.
Oh,
They're
no,
like-
not the.
They're like that big. They're black.
I'm done jacking with this guy. Quit with your lowball offers. And every time I relist it, he comes back in with a lowball offers. And I just keep sitting there and holding tight, and he just keeps trying. Keeps countering. I'm not getting any kind of notifications on my phone. This sucks.
Huh.
Hi, Jill. Good. Hey.
Oh, we wanted to hear what he was saying.
Yeah.
eBay with all their glitches have been ticking me off lately. But
Now let's see if
I
there's
think
any
it's
app.
getting better, I think, now.
There's a PayPal app update. Oh, I can now support my loved ones in 62 countries around the world by sending money, paying bills, and reloading phones through Zoom
Lovely.
with PayPal.
Thank God for that.
And there is an update, and it always says bug fixes and performance improvements. Yeah, okay.
My son thought he was being real smart. He had this processor thing that he was selling, and the way he set it up was that it was going to go to his PayPal. The money was going to go to his PayPal because he didn't want it getting mixed up with my money, you know. So he has to go to his PayPal. Now it's on fucking hold. I was like, that's what you get, you damn bastard.
Yeah.
Thinking that you could use my eBay to sell something for you, and then, yeah, that's what you get. He's like, well, I just wanted it to go to my PayPal. Well, you got what you wanted. Kids
nowadays.
I was hoping you would have been on earlier, Sally. I had my red nose on today.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, she was so cute with the red nose. That was awesome.
That's cool. Yeah, I was just supposed to come in here and go to the bathroom, and I ended up getting on here. I gotta set up my sales and stuff.
Yeah.
Brandon's probably like, where the hell's she at?
Yeah. She's
I
probably
have to get on do.
on that damn show. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up for the day, guys.
Just tell them your fans were requesting your presence.
Yeah.
There you go. Hope everybody has a great day, and we will see you tomorrow.
Bye, everybody.
Tomorrow, it'll be Friday.
Friday.
Friday.